YouTube has been caught, despite all of its claims that it's cleaning up its algorithm, actively promoting videos containing completely anti-scientific climate change denial. This is based on a new report from Avaz, which I'm going to tell you about in a second. Many of you know that over the last 18 months, our YouTube channel has been absolutely crushed by YouTube's recommended video algorithm and its monetization algorithm. I'll have updated numbers for you from 2019 in total later this week or early next week. I'm not going to retell the full details of the story right now, but the gist of it is that in late 2018, YouTube started promoting so-called authoritative content over fringe content, and we were wrapped up in that. What they've done effectively is recommend corporate legacy YouTube channels like CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News as YouTube channels over independent channels like ours, and it has hurt us hugely. I told you a couple of months ago that I believed we were losing about 2 to 3 million views per month since early 2019, but it turns out that it's actually even worse than that. If you go back to February of 2017, we got more than 6 million views just from YouTube's recommendations. That's not our whole channel. That's just from the recommendations. In December of 2019, it was 600,000. That is a literal decimation of our recommended views. The shortfall is as much as 5.5 million views in a month. This is destroying the channel. I truly, when I see those numbers, it's so disheartening and crushing to see it, given what we have done over the last several years to be a bigger and bigger part of the discussion on YouTube, and to see our recommendations shrink to barely 10% of what they once were. And then we find out, because of this report that Avaz puts out, they look up 5,000 videos which come up when you search terms climate change, global warming, and related terms. And then they look at 5,000 videos, and then they checked which videos is YouTube recommending when you are watching those videos, right? If you search for climate change and watch a video, what does YouTube then suggest that you watch in the up next bar of videos that shows up next to or below the video you're watching, depending on whether you're on mobile or on a computer? Depending on which search term you used, anywhere from 8 to 21% of the videos that YouTube recommended you watch next included climate science denial of different kinds. 21% is more than 1 out of 5. Now, if YouTube said, we're not taking any position on promoting authoritative content over fringe, reliable content over conspiracies, I'd say fine. They're not taking a position. Their algorithm is not trying to promote authoritative over fringe content, and there's some climate science denial stuff that has shown up. But YouTube says, we are going to promote authoritative stuff over fringe content and conspiracy content. And it costs our channel 2, 3, 5.5 million views per month. But supposedly it's worth it, right? Because they're not promoting BS conspiracies and fringe content. And yet in some cases, 1 out of 5 climate change recommendations are for climate science denial conspiracy videos. Now you might wonder, why is the recommendation algorithm so important? There are so many ways people find videos, things shared on social media, their subscriptions feed, direct searches. The up next feature, meaning this recommendations algorithm, dictates 70% of what people are watching on YouTube. And it is costing us anywhere from 2 to 3 up to 5.5 million views per month. And meanwhile, anti-science climate denial nonsense is still being suggested by YouTube. We have to fight this. And unfortunately, we probably can't get YouTube to change its algorithm. I am sending all of this data to my YouTube rep, seeing what they can do. What we can do is directly support channels we value to ensure that they're not tied to YouTube ad revenue. I know I've said it before. That's what we have to do. For us, it's really easy. Membership in Patreon. Grab a membership on our website. We've got a discount code that is 66% off. That code is 2020 now, okay? I don't care at what financial level you're involved. Even if it's $2 a month using the code 2020 now, do it. You can also just throw $1 or $2 our way on Patreon at patreon.com/David Pakman Show. These are small amounts of money. In some cases, if you're doing $1 a month, It's almost like a micropayment, but it adds up when thousands of you do it. So please consider it. The situation is dire. We are rapidly heading into an incredibly important election with the YouTube recommendations algorithm not recommending independent channels like ours. I'll have a full report about the data later this week or early next. I know that the David Pakman Show audience is full of curious and creative people who love learning new things and bettering themselves. And that's why I'm so excited to tell you about one of our sponsors, Skillshare, the vibrant online learning community that offers thousands of classes on almost any topic you can imagine. And you'll get full access to the entire library of classes for 2 entire months free when you go to davidpakman.com/skill. All of the classes are taught by experts in their fields. They've got classes on drawing, painting, photography, video editing, web design, bookkeeping, marketing, personal productivity. Doesn't even scratch the surface. I recently took a class about photography. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you know that my photography skills leave much to be desired. And it was great. I got so much out of it. And hopefully you will see the fruits of me taking that class reflected in my Instagram pictures sooner than later. They have classes for every skill level, whether you're wanting to get better at something you already have experience with, you want to learn something totally new to you. You set your own pace. Classes are usually less than an hour long. They're divided up into bite-sized segments so you can easily fit them into your schedule. Make 2020 a year where you explore new skills, deepen existing passions, get lost in creativity. Skillshare really makes it easier than ever. Skillshare memberships are less than $10 a month, and that gives you access to the thousands of classes they offer. But everybody in the David Pakman Show audience gets a Skillshare membership totally free for 2 whole months. Just go to davidpakman.com/skill. That's davidpakman.com/SKILL.